Most producers think you need thousands of views on YouTube or thousands of subscribers to make money selling beats. But I made $1,500 in a week with just 40 likes. Not 40,000 views, literally just 40 likes on one post. And the craziest part is that I didn't rely on YouTube's algorithm at all, so there's no hoping that my beats are just gonna go viral. So if you're a really serious producer and you're already making some money selling your beats using content online, I'm gonna show you how you can sell beats consistently without using YouTube at all, and probably why chasing views is keeping you stuck. I'm a Grammy-winning producer, platinum selling, Billboard charting, and while I've done all of that, it doesn't make me much money at all, and I use this strategy, which has helped me make a living selling beats online since 2020 when I quit my job during COVID. So let's dive into the video. I promise I'm gonna break this down step by step so you can just copy me by the end. So I'll start by just saying that most producers are on YouTube just because they're copying what other producers are doing, and they've seen that as a successful path in the past. But I have talked to producers who have gotten millions of views, they have hundreds, thousand plus subscribers, yet they don't use YouTube at all to sell beats anymore. It's because they have to post the same beat consistently over and over again. They're reliant on an algorithm, and if it changes at all, it can wipe out their entire business. And I don't know if you've noticed it, but views are going down. It's getting more competitive and everyone's doing the same thing. And you can get a lot of views and still not get many sales at all. So views and virality doesn't equal money and vitality for your business. So this led me to quit YouTube and actually just be as personal as possible with the artists, because I found that a lot of artists I've talked to actually don't want to buy beats off of YouTube, but that's the only opportunity that they see in front of them. They want to connect with real producers who are serious about their craft, who love working with talented independent artists, and they're willing to pay a lot more money than your $30 beat lease or $100 beat lease off of YouTube. So I get a tiny amount of engagement, but I get big sales that equal anywhere from $500 to $1,500 pretty regularly. So I'm going to break down the 4-step process to actually making this strategy work. So the way that I make this work is using carousel post on Instagram. So let me break this down for you. Step 1 with a carousel post is I want to have a strong hook on the first page of the carousel. I work with R&B artists, but let's face it, you know your genre and your followers a lot better than anyone else. So focus on topics that they would be interested in and things that are going to be slightly controversial. Make a hook that's going to make them stop in their tracks and want to swipe to the next slide and continue reading through it. The hook that I wrote was something along the lines of R&B isn't dead, which is something that a lot of people are saying, but it's having a huge resurgence despite that, which means it actually isn't true. Once you've clickbait them or hooked them into swiping to the next slide, you're going to want to present the problem. Essentially, the problem with R&B is that people want to sing about vulnerable things, personal things, whereas a lot of the industry stuff wants it to be more fluff and less deep lyrics and deep content, and that is what was actually killing R&B. So I focus on the pain and the problem that the artist is going through, and I go and call that out. You don't have to put everything just on one slide. What you want to do is spread it out in a story format so that they have to keep swiping through the carousel in order to consume the story. This makes the watch time go up. It allows them to get deeper with your content and like, save, and share it, which makes it go so much further and deeper than just a regular reel. The more time they spend with you, the more likely they are to want to work with you. Once you've focused on the pain points of your audience and clearly explained that, now you want to focus on what the actual solution is. Now, if you're trying to sell beats, the solution can be working with you, which is what I went with in this context, which is that they can write outside the box. They can create outside of the norms, but they're missing one thing, which is what is going to inspire that creativity to start with. And that is your beats, or my beats in this case. I had noticed that a lot of R&B artists that I talked to were saying that a lot of the beats off of YouTube are so different that they're not cohesive whenever they're making an album or a project, and they have to sift through for hours and hours and hours of beats in order to find something that's going to be a perfect fit for their project. So I focused on the word cohesiveness because that's something that's going to really strike a nerve with artists. So now that you've done a hook, you've explained the problem and you've explained the solution clearly, now you want to focus on a CTA, which is going to be the call to action. So instead of my call to action being a flash sale discount or saying buy one, get three on beats like a bulk sale, or even saying let's work, so send me a DM, what I pitched them on instead was hopping onto what I call a preview session or a vibe session, a place where we can actually connect face to face. We can preview through some beats, references that they have, and then we can decide on if we're even a good fit to work or not. So then in the final slide, I will have a word that's going to be the CTA, which in this case was partnership. So I'm saying, hey, I only work with a couple of artists a month on EPs or albums or projects. So if you want to work with me, simply DM me or comment the word below partnership, and then I'll reach out with some more information on exactly how this would work and how to set it up. And if you look at the post, it only got 40 likes and 3 comments, and most of those were mine. So how did that actually generate money if I only got one person to reach out with the word partnership in my DMs? And this brings us to the second to last final step, which is going to be liking, commenting, and messaging anybody that interacted with the post. So in this post, there was probably about 10, 15 R&B artists. And so I went and said, hey, I appreciate you showing some love on my post. Are you being creative at all this year? And so that way I have an excuse to get into their DMs and message them, because this is how I'm going to actually make the money. And I think I said it was a 4-step process or 3-step process, but if the numbers are off a little bit, just bear with me if you're writing things down and the numbers don't match up. So now you're interacting in the DMs, you're asking them if they've created new music anytime soon. Now from there, you can ask them what kind of music are they even creating lately. If it matches up with your style of music, you can say something like, hey, that's crazy. I actually have some beats like that. I'm not even sure if you care or not, but would love for you to check them out at some point. Then they're going to send an email or say they're interested. And from there, what you can do is pitch them on a call and say, hey, I typically don't share my site openly, but what we could do is do a vibe session and see if any of these are even ideas that you would like or not. A lot of artists will entertain this idea, especially if you're in a really good niche, which is going to be like pop or indie pop. It could be rock, R&B, or anything soulful. Those are going to be the best genres to do this in, and just stay away from anything like really hard trap music, which your audience is not really going to mesh well with hopping onto calls with. So now that you've got them onto a call, I like to use Google Meets or Zoom to do this. And that way you can meet face to face with them, share your screen, share your audio, and then preview through your site, which could be BeatStars. It could even be Google Drive or Dropbox. It doesn't really matter. This is where the magic happens, because you're able to get them to fall in love with your beats, trust you as a producer, and then move forward at the end of the call if they actually are ready to financially commit. The post that got 40 likes generated 4 sales calls, and I closed 2 of those into sales, one at $1,000 and one at $500. You want to preview the beats thoroughly, because if they don't fall in love with the beats, there's no way they're going to want to send you money at the end of the call. Now, at the end of the call, once they've picked out beats, I like to get at least 5, but in most cases, they end up picking out 10 of my beats, but it'll be different for each producer. So after they've picked out the beats, make sure they're certain that they actually want to write and use those beats, because if they're just iffy on half of the beats and they only like maybe 1 or 2, then it's going to be really difficult to actually sell for $500 or more. So once they're certain on at least 5 beats, from there, I will go and ask them if they're ready to hear the price for working with me. When they say yes, I'll drop the price, and depending on what they can afford, I usually will start at $1,000 for 10 beat leases. This sounds crazy, but they're very open to buying this because of the personal attention they're getting. You're curating out beats and setting them to the side for them, so they're having a white glove experience versus something that's like a buffet line if they were to use something like YouTube, where it's self-serving. After I drop the price, I just stay entirely silent so that I can hear what their thoughts are on that process of payment. They usually will say something like, well, I like the beats, it's just a little bit too expensive for me. At this point, what I want to break down is, hey, was it the beats that were the issue, or was it just money that's holding us back from working together? If they say it's just money, then from there, what I can say is, hey, like if we figured out the money side of things, is it possible for us to work together and move forward today? If they say yes, then I am not pushing them. I'm not prodding them to move forward. And I'm not even suggesting that they should buy beats from me. This is entirely their decision. And if you pressure them in this moment, you're going to entirely lose the sale. If they say that we can figure out finances and then move forward, you have two options. You can either do a payment plan, and I use stripe.com in order to accomplish this. And then I just split it up into whatever works for them. Or you can do financing. And one of my students made $5,700 in cash in 30 days by just financing. So this is using buy now, pay later services like PayPal credit, Klarna, Affirm, and Afterpay in order for the artist to get onto a payment plan with one of those companies that has a little bit of interest. And sometimes, like with PayPal credit, they don't have any interest for 6 months. So if it's fair for them, they'll go ahead and get onto that plan and start the payment plan if they qualify for it. Then that company will take the money they qualified for and wire it to your bank account. So this way, you're able to get 100% cash up front for the beats. So to recap, you don't need YouTube type beats to sell. You need the right system in place. You don't need 40,000 views. All you might need is just 40 likes. At the end of the day, you're not looking for people that are going to be browsing around your site and just crossing your fingers and hoping that they actually pay you like $30 for a beat. We're not looking for browsers. We're looking for buyers at the end of the day. So artists that buy from you are going to be greater than social engagement, subscriber count, views, or clout from placements. In fact, one of my students made $4,100 in a week from just 3 sales, and one of them was $3,000. And the most amazing part about that is that it wasn't even something that was exclusive. This process that I just showed you, called the rapid sales system, is going to allow you to develop a relationship rapidly with an artist that allows them to realize that you are the producer that they want to work with, and they would like to pay you a premium to solve a problem instead of just give them pieces. So make sure you're building relationships and not just traffic. If you're tired of waiting for your YouTube to blow up and you actually want to make consistent income without YouTube type beats or without needing clout from placements, I put together a free resource that's going to help you go from knowing nothing about calls to actually closing your first sale at anywhere from $250 all the way up to some of my students have made $8,500 in one sale. This is a free sales course on calls, and all you have to do is reach out to me on Instagram at Kobe Sample Source, DM me the word sales, and I'll send you that free resource right over to your inbox. If you're more interested in getting support one-on-one to implement some of these strategies and start to explode your beat business, simply DM me on Instagram at Kobe Sample Source, the word roadmap. We can hop onto a free roadmap call. We will pin down the problem that's holding you back from making consistent income online. And we can see if any of my programs are a good fit for you or not. Simply DM me the word roadmap on Instagram at Kobe Sample Source. We can set up the free call. Would love to connect with you. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.